my take on pork sisig, which is a Filipino dish, it's part of my heritage.
You are the chopped champion. For some truly top-notch carnivorous cooking at $10,000 is your prize. Congratulations.
I'm so happy.
My chopped episode was all about pork. After I heard about that, I felt I had it in the bag at that moment because, you know, Filipinos and pork, it's definitely our animal.
Chef Denevin Miranda, first of all, congratulations, crowned chopped champion for 2021. Maraming salamat for making us proud, Filipinos.
Thank you, Jannelle, and thanks for having me on. It's wonderful to celebrate Filipino and Filipino Americans around the world, and I'm happy to showcase some of our heritage through the platform I have.
And I'm also very happy that you were able to make time for us because I know that you're very, very busy. So getting right to the first question, can you take us through your cooking journey? When did it start, your love for the culinary arts?
My parents immigrated to New York to be raised around my family. Many of my aunts and uncles, my grandmother all lived here. I was just always surrounded by food. It's the Filipino hospitality. And my grandmother, I loved watching her cook. She had a beautiful garden in our backyard. I was already experiencing farm-to-table organic food straight from her garden. And so she would grow, you know, the ampalaya and upo and the Japanese eggplants and everything that she couldn't find, she was growing in our backyard so that she can bring a lot of our culture through food in our kitchen.
I love that, farm to table, even before it was the in thing, right?
It was definitely amazing. And you can't even replicate the flavors that you get just from growing your own vegetables.
So when did you start thinking seriously that, I can do this for a living?
I wasn't very fit in high school. I was growing up in my childhood very asthmatic, and I had a little excuse note from my doctor not to participate in physical education. And I ended up taking a lot of the home ec classes, fell in love with cooking and using my hands, and thought very seriously about pursuing it as a career.
And then now you were cooking, working as a chef. What was the reason behind joining Chopped?
Chopped actually found me. I guess I participated in a lot of the food and wine festivals that Food Network actually sponsors. They actually reached out to me and called the restaurant to see if I was interested in participating. I don't think I ever thought about going into TV. I'm actually thinking about it much more now, especially the industry, how it's developing, and to have a platform to kind of showcase the talents and things behind cooking and the restaurant industry, I think is so important. The effect of the pandemic and how it really affected the restaurant industry so negatively. Ted Allen, the host, he said that being a platform to showcase these voices of people who work in restaurants and chefs is absolutely the right move because of how it so drastically impacted the industry. So he kind of reassured us that this is, you know, a great move to showcase, you know, talents in this industry and bring those forward so that we can, again, kind of rebuild.
Right, and I love that. So at what point the competition did you feel like you had it?
For those who've watched, I actually prepared sisig, which is, you know, great shout out to my Kapampangan roots. It's one of my favorite Filipino dishes.
It feels amazing to be a chopped champion.
What we're cooking today, you're actually gonna teach me, and please be patient because, you know, I love to cook, but cooking I don't think loves me. What are we making today?
We're gonna be making dirty rice. And this is I kind of tweaked this recipe to be done with some leftover rice. We actually serve it with a Caribbean jerk chicken here in the restaurant. And we actually utilize a lot of the innards of the chicken so nothing goes to waste because it's important for us to be sustainable and be zero waste as possible, so nothing ends up in the landfill. And I think that's very intuitive of how Filipinos already kind of cook it and you know, what we do in most of our households. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Filipinos were already doing that. Like, you know, I don't know if you've heard of the chicken feet, where we call it Adidas. Yeah. We barbecue. Yeah, so nothing goes to waste. The innards, everything inside gets cooked. And so this is exciting for me. Take us through the ingredients. Okay, now my question is, just looking at you, how do you stay so fit while working in the kitchen, right? Is it easy or difficult to like keep eating, picking while you're cooking?
Oh, well, thank you for saying that. I'd have to give the credit actually to my partner, and my husband is actually a personal trainer. So he makes sure that we stay very fit. And otherwise, I'd probably be in the same boat as many of my colleagues and maybe have a little bit of a belly, you know?
Right. Is there anything that you refrain from eating that you don't like to eat?
For me, it's all about moderation. I don't really believe in diets because I think diets forces you to make, you know, these choices of things that you're eating that aren't sustainable. You know, diets you can't keep long term. It's a great way maybe to reach a goal very quickly, but afterwards you have to start kind of tailoring what you eat based on moderation and just trying to have a good balance of everything. You want to include vegetables and hearty proteins and all of that in your diet, and make sure that you know, you can have a little bit of a cheat day and have some ice cream and indulge a little bit. So just to keep you sane and happy as well.
Right. You know, just by talking about food, you're already making me hungry. I can hear my tummy. So, okay, going back to the food, what do we do first?
This recipe actually has roots in Cajun style cooking. And in any Cajun recipe, you always want to have what they call the Trinity, which is onion, we have celery, and bell pepper. Those three ingredients are very much the base of any kind of good Cajun recipe. If you're making this kind of rice or jambalaya or gumbo, it all starts with this, and they call it the Trinity.
And those are all minced, right?
Pepper. You get your pan nice and hot, and we're actually gonna put some oil, and then you're gonna take your ground chicken, and we're just gonna put that down into the oil to start searing it. And you wanna just spread it out.
Because we're browning it, right?
And once you have it kind of crumbled out, you're gonna season it with a little salt and pepper.
Although, you know, I don't like cooking too much with salt. Is that okay? I'll put pepper.
That's fine. When you're cooking in your home, the beauty of it is that you have complete control over what you're putting in your dishes and control over the flavor and tailor it to exactly how you like. The soy sauce is going to add enough seasoning, and we also have Cajun seasoning, which has some salt in it. That's going to, you know, add some seasoning too. So if you want to subtract some of the salt from this recipe, that's perfectly fine.
So we're browning this, right?
Yeah, you want to brown this. And the reason I don't add the vegetables in the beginning, I know sometimes we learn to like maybe brown our garlic and onions, but because we want to get that meat nice and brown, it's actually going to burn the garlic and the onions first. So I just like to saute the ground chicken.
You know, I hear about that, Chef. Like, you know, us Filipinos, we always try to use garlic, right? Garlic and onion when we saute. And some people say putting onion first before garlic. What do you do? I put garlic first. What do you do?
It depends on the recipe. You know, I think in a lot of Filipino cuisine and dishes, you want that browned garlic flavor. You want it to really infuse in your oil, and you're only going to achieve that with starting with garlic. You know, if you want to make it a little bit more milder and not maybe the most prominent flavor, you want to maybe start with the onion so that the garlic doesn't get too brown. Because the browner your garlic, it brings out more of that roasted flavor. And if you do burn your garlic, which is a no-no even in Filipino cooking, it can give a kind of bitterness to what you're preparing. So you just want to be careful.
Right.
And I had my livers just soaking in milk, like I said. This just helps take out some of that strong flavor.
Soak it in 1 cup of milk, right? 1 cup of whole milk.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna take them out of the whole milk. I'm just gonna strain it. I have a little strainer here.
Okay.
Strain that out. You could discard the milk at this point. I don't think you want to be drinking that.
Really? Why not?
It kind of looks like strawberry milk, but you know, you
Yeah.
might. April Fool's already passed. You're gonna actually put your livers on some paper towels. You want to just dry them out lightly. After you drain it, just keep an eye on your chicken. You don't want it to burn.
It's cooking, but it's not brown yet.
Mine's pretty brown already.
Really? Mine is not.
Not yet?
Here, let me show you. And let me know if this is okay. Is that okay, chef? Or no?
Yeah. That looks good. This is how mine looks right now. And we're gonna start adding all our minced vegetables.
Ooh, it looks so pretty.
Yeah, you want that just to saute and just, like I said, lower your heat a little bit, and you just want those vegetables to sweat down, release their liquid, and start adding those flavors into your ground chicken. That's how mine looks right now.
Oh, okay, good. All right. I think we're kind of the same. And then I added the garlic as well.
And you know those herbs that I have, the bay leaf and the thyme, you can actually add that as well at this point. How's everything smelling over there? It smells great.
Oh, wow. It smells so good.
And I like to just season the liver as well. If you want to omit the salt, like, you know, you don't like too much salt, you can. Chefs, we like to season everything because we're layering those flavors.
I love liver, by the way.
It's so underrated. It's often, you know, kind of the offcuts.
Yeah.
And I think some of the best cooking is done with the offcuts of meat because you put more attention to it, right? A good piece of steak, all you have to do is like grill it and you can serve it right away. Filipinos have become so good at using these kinds of offcuts. Like one of my favorite dishes is like kare-kare, and that's actually the tripe and the oxtail.
Yes, I love kare-kare and peanut sauce, right?
Yeah, and peanut sauce is so delicious. And those kinds of recipes really came about because, you know, it was the cheaper cuts of meat. And I think that's prevalent in a lot of cooking around the world. You know, some of the great cuisines around the world really came from peasant food because, you know, the peasants used these offcuts of meat and really were able to transform them into something very special. So I have another pan that's getting nice and hot. I'm gonna add that oil to it, and we're gonna add our livers to that. Cooking these to just kind of medium when they're just like nice and pink inside still. I think when they get overcooked, that off flavor comes out.
What is your favorite cuisine?
I have to say I've been obsessively watching Stanley Tucci on that CNN special when he's touring Italy. And I love Italian food. And in New York, for those of you who visited, it has some of the best Italian food, best pizza, best pasta. How about you?
I like Japanese food. I like sushi.
I ran a sushi restaurant for 5 years. And I do, what I really appreciate about Japanese food is just like such attention to detail and, you know, quality and
Right, and they look like art, like, you know, the way it's presented. I learned how to make sukiyaki not too long ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I love that. This smells really good. I can't wait to eat it with egg.
We eat with our other senses first, right? With our eyes, with our smell. One of the symptoms of COVID I was the most scared about was losing my taste and smell.
Smell and taste, right?
Definitely suck as a chef to have to kind of deal with that. I'm gonna pull my livers off and put them back on that paper towel to just kind of drain and cool down a little bit.
Yeah, so my liver looks like this.
That's good. Is it you still like it pink in the middle, or you like it more well done?
It's pink.
Okay, great. You know, I have my vegetables have kind of cooked down with the chicken. What I do is I add the rice. Like I said, if you don't have leftover rice, you can definitely do this recipe with uncooked rice. You would actually wash your rice beforehand, and then once your chicken and stuff is cooked like this, you would add your uncooked rice, and then you could add chicken stock or water, and you know, as you would cook normal rice, and you would add it with all your nice ground chicken and all these vegetables, and it's gonna flavor that rice really well. I am using brown rice here, but you can use white rice, whatever you have left over in your house. Alrighty, so you want to get your rice nice and toasty, and then we're gonna kind of add the other seasonings to this. We have our Cajun seasoning, and then you're gonna add your soy sauce.
I can't wait to try this, Chef. I think this will be our dinner for tonight.
Excellent. And that addition of the soy sauce, you're gonna find that that's gonna help deglaze your pan a little bit.
Right, I can see that now. Woo, this looks so good.
Now, we're gonna go back to our livers. I'm just gonna put them on my cutting board, and I just mince them
Okay.
very fine. If you like it more chunkier and you wanna have nice chunks in there, you can. But the whole point of dirty rice is you have all these little nice kind of bits with your rice.
Got it, got it.
So that's why it's called dirty rice, because it looks a little dirty.
So does the milk affect the taste of the liver, or it just takes out the strong flavor?
The milk helps to remove some of that strong flavor of the liver.
For people that might be asking, how long should they soak the liver?
An hour minimum, but you can even go as long as overnight. At this point, you can actually, if you have your bay leaf, I usually take it out. To add some nice bright flavor and more color, I add that parsley and those scallions in there. I already turned off the heat because you don't want to cook these herbs.
Ta-da!
Yeah, that looks great. And I think we can taste this now.
Chef, this is actually good.
There it is.
This is amazing. I'm gonna definitely fry egg with it and eat it.
Yeah, it's a great side dish, or you can make it your meal.
Like something like that, right? And then put fried egg on top. That'd be amazing.
Yum. Yeah, that would be very good. We serve it here in the restaurant as a delicious side dish to our Caribbean jerk chicken. We actually adobo the chicken first. That's my little touch, kind of Filipino touch to that.
Well, thank you so much, Chef. What's on the horizon for you?
We're reopening our rooftop, which is fabulous views of New York City. Actually, I'm here in our event space, and I'm gonna turn the camera around so people can see
Sure. I'd love
this view of New York, because it's pretty spectacular. Can you see it? Can you see the skyline behind me?
It's awesome.
Yeah, we're right here on the East River. So you get water views and you get all of downtown. And actually, if you're on our roof, you could see the Statue of Liberty as well as the Brooklyn Bridge, one of the most special places to experience New York. We have great food, and we're gonna do some really cool activations this summer. I'm actually partnering with Dr. Dish, which is fishermen in Montauk here in Long Island. And they deliver great fresh seafood to us, and we're gonna do some Boodle Fight Kamayan inspired food with all those fresh seafood that we're gonna serve directly on the tables. So those are kind of like the exciting kind of pop-up experiences we're gonna be doing this summer. So I invite everyone to come try us out at the One Hotel Brooklyn Bridge, at the Osprey, and as well as Harriet's Rooftop Lounge and Bar.
I love that. Also following you on Instagram, go ahead and invite viewers to follow you so that we know when that's actually gonna happen.
Absolutely. So you could follow me on Instagram. It's at Chef Denevin. That's DENEVIN. Hope you come check me out on there, see my stories, and follow some of the great happenings that we have going on here at the restaurant.
I love that. Thank you so much, Chef. More power to you. And I hope this isn't the last that we'll see you here on the show. Please come back.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun, Jannelle. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, I certainly hope that maybe we'll do some more recipes together. Cheers, and I hope you enjoy your dinner.
I'd love that. Thank you so much, Chef. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.